Okay, hi there everyone. This is actually the second ever interview I've done for Stone Soup, and today I have with me the lovely Lesh from The Mindful Foodie. So I met Lesh a couple of years ago after I was speaking at the Melbourne Writers Festival, I think it was, and since then we've become good friends and fellow food bloggers. So Lesh is a former pharmacist and she used to be a medical writer, but she's turned a holistic food coach, blogger and author. And Lesh is here to have a chat today about her upcoming book called Nourish. So welcome, Lesh. Lovely to have you on Stone Soup.
Thank you, Jules. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so we'll get in. I've just got a couple of quick questions for you. So firstly, for all the Stone Soup readers out there, I just wondering if you could share your story about how you came to discover real food and how it's impacted your life, basically.
Okay, sure. So I consider myself, reasonably healthy before I discovered whole food. So, I was a pharmacist, a medical writer, but I would say I was conventionally healthy, putting that in inverted commas. I would do things, I would cook a lot of my meals, but I would rely on, things that came out of a packet, probably a little bit too much. My breakfast came out of a cereal box and, I'd be the low-fat kind of person. Oh, yeah, low-fat's healthy, and I would just look at the low-fat content. So, that was my version of healthy before I discovered whole food. But the reason I discovered healthy eating whole foods was because about 7 years ago, my husband and I tried to start a family, and it didn't quite happen. And I always suspected I had a health condition called endometriosis, and a diagnosis confirmed that. So what that is basically, it's basically a lady's health condition that can affect fertility. Maybe Jules can put a link if someone wants to know about that.
Yeah, I will, Lesh.
Yeah, it's just easier than to describe it. It's a bit long-winded. But what happened was, I had a diagnosis, and then I decided to see, for some reason, I don't know why, a naturopath, and she put me onto a book. And that book went into how food can impact your health, and specifically it was for endometriosis, and that kind of sort of switched the light bulb on to me and actually made me a bit angry about the kind of food that's available to us in mainstream sort of supermarkets.
Yeah.
And how we don't question what we eat, and we just assume based on the health claims on packets that that's what it is. So I kind of investigated.
What was the book, Lesh? You've got me intrigued.
Yeah, I'll here it is. I'm going to take. It's called, the title is Endometriosis Byline, A Key to Healing and Fertility Through Nutrition, and it's by Diane, D-I-A-N, Shepperson Mills.
Okay.
And Michael Vernon. So we can put a link to that too if people are interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a book. So it had things about, specifically endometriosis, but yeah, I kind of started eating whole foods from then, like questioning everything, looking at ingredients and packets, starting to do a few things from scratch, making, most of my condiments now at home are from scratch, and there's a few things I would buy, but they're usually from, the organic store, and I know what's in them. That's how I discovered it, and that's what propelled me to start The Mindful Foodie. It started as a hobby blog.
Great.
Just to share recipes, like usually wheat-free kind of things, because wheat is supposedly can affect the pain with endometriosis. So, that's how it started, and then I started to enjoy it more and more in my medical writing work. So I did some food coaching course or holistic health coaching course, and here I am.
Wow, that's lovely. That's great. And it's actually kind of similar to my story with Stone Soup, Lesh, because I started out, just because I wanted to keep track of my recipes and just doing it as a hobby, and it kind of grew, and I enjoyed it so much that, now it's my business. So that's great. So
I think it's good to do something that you love. So
and so how have you found that, like, since you've made that switch from kind of a little stuff out of a packet to preparing food yourself, like how's that affected your health and your well-being? Like,
Okay, so to initially start off with, it was mainly pain management, and I would say my pain has reduced quite a bit to what I used to get with the condition. I still have it. It's not something that will get cured, but it's was more symptom management, and that it helped with that a lot.
Okay.
But in terms of a lifestyle thing, I feel like I'm going to be 40 in like 6 weeks. And I feel really good, and people are surprised to hear that I'm going to be turning 40.
Yeah.
My weight is really stable. Like, I don't exercise like I used to exercise like at the gym full on, sometimes twice a week, but now my exercise is yoga almost, every day, and a walk, and it's sort of a gentle exercise, but I'm not putting on weight. I'm at a happy weight, I would say, and a stable weight. But I also feel mentally clear, A few things help with that as well. It's become kind of a whole lifestyle. It started off with food, but I'm really conscious and aware of how or why I do things in my life. And so it's led me to, meditation, doing yoga, questioning everything that we do in life. Does it have to be the mainstream way? Do we have to live our life the way that everyone lives? So it's kind of moved from health in terms of symptom and pain to this now, and I'm really happy, I would say, in my life. I'm really happy with my life. It's all started from food, but it's kind of moved holistically. Yeah.
Wow, so it kind of encompasses a lot more. That's interesting because I'm on a bit of a similar journey in terms of exercise as well. Like I've used to run a lot. I've done marathons and stuff, and I actually stopped running to help with fertility. And of course, when you're pregnant, it's not really practical. And I'm running once or twice a week, but just because I love it. But I'm doing more gentle exercise, and getting into meditation and stuff. So there you go, Les, you're on the same path.
Maybe it's to do with growing older too. I don't know, but it definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things, because there's a saying, it's like how you do one thing, you do everything else in life. So when you start to become aware, that's why I like the mindful foodie, the word mindful in my business name, because it kind of is a reminder for me. I mean, sometimes habits can come into play, they do, but you have to catch yourself. Yeah.
Okay, that's great, Lesh. Thank you. Your number one tip for someone just starting out?
Look, I think, number one tip, I was going to say, to start cooking more, or not to cook more, but in the sense of cook the food that you eat, cook most of it. So it's not to eat out at all, but if you can, to cook a lot of your meals, the majority of your meals. It doesn't have to be fancy or complicated. The stuff that you're doing on Stone Soup is really good to teach people to cook their own meals. But, it's a two-pronged thing. But when you cook, just to be aware what you're cooking or what you're choosing to cook. Whether you're happy to eat it, do you know what you're eating? So it's a mindfulness aspect as well.
Right. So first step is to just try and cook more.
I'll cook most if you can. Like I usually in my book that's coming up, I say, if you can, to cook 80% of your meals, because you can't be a hermit at home all the time.
Oh, good, Lesh.
Yeah, but and it's part of enjoyment as well. You don't want to feel guilty for eating something that you feel that you shouldn't have eaten. So one way to do that is to try to cook most of your meals, so then when you go out, you can relax and enjoy yourself and really enjoy something when you're out that you're happy to put in your body as well, but it may be not something that you may cook at home, sort of thing, So it's a bit special.
Right, so you have treats as well as...
Yeah. And only if you really want to eat that treat. It doesn't have to be because it's there. You have to really want it as well, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So just one more question for you, Les. Just wondering if you could share a little bit about your new ebook, Nourish, for the Stone Soup readers out there.
Okay, sure. Well, the ebook is really how I kind of live my life when it comes around food, and that I found most helpful. It's also what I do. I've done a bit of food coaching, and it's also what my food coaching clients have found most helpful. So the recipes are similar to the type of recipes that I have on my blog, and there's about 93 recipes in the book. They're all whole food recipes with lots of tips and variations. But there's also a section in the book which I feel is also equally as important. It's sort of like a how to eat section. It's kind of, I feel like we've forgotten how to eat and how to enjoy food. And because of that, we're seeing a lot of eating problems, I think, in the world because of that. Like, people not knowing how much to eat, what to eat, but also, this sense of, they're eating all the time and the other, they don't understand why they want to eat all the time as well. So there's a section in the book where I call it a blueprint for healthy eating or for satiating meals. And that's the section that I'm really, I guess I could say I'm proud of. It's what I find most helpful. And there's also sections on, smart cooking and mindful eating, what I call smart cooking, so that it makes it easier for you to, enjoy or cook whole foods as well. So
when you
I
say
guess
smart,
2 books in one.
So when you say smart cooking, Lesh, what are you referring to there?
So it's what you refer to as mise en place, where you prep things beforehand. So you may spend 2 or 3 hours, either all together or in separate chunks, where you might cook some stuff and then you have it in the fridge or in the freezer. And then when it comes to making your meal, it's easy. It's like making your own packet food.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. So I talk about that quite a bit in the types of things that I.
So what types of things do you prep like that on a regular basis?
Okay, so I like to cook like quinoa. Sometimes quinoa freezes really well, so quinoa is really good to throw in soups and salads and make patties out of.
And it defrosts really quickly, hey, because it's so small.
It defrosts really, really quickly. And I also sometimes do legumes. I'll pre-cook legumes. I make condiments sometimes, so I might make a dressing and put it in the fridge. I'll toast, I'll make some tamari nuts and seeds, so they're really easy to throw onto salads. You get some texture and some other, good healthy
salty
fats.
Flavour,
condiments. I make ghee, which is an Indian clarified butter, because I like to cook with ghee.
Yep.
Quite a bit. So it's a mix of condiments. I'll wash my green leafy, salad greens, so then I can just throw it into my salad when I don't have to wash everything while making my salad, because that adds time. So those sorts of things.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So you mentioned ghee. So I was going to ask you this. So your family background, they're from India?
We're actually from Fiji. Some Fiji Indian.
Oh, right. There you go.
Yeah. From India, like I'm Indian blood, but a lot of my ancestors were taken over to Fiji, so I'm Fiji.
Nice. Because that's one of the things I really love about the book, because I love Indian food's one of my favourites, but I don't cook it that often. So there was a few things that in the book, particularly like the condiments that you were mentioning, like raita, and I was like, that's awesome to have. Like, I love that the book's got Middle Eastern stuff and Asian stuff, and it's got a really diverse range of kind of cultural ancestry. But I also love that you personally, you've grown up with Indian and kind of an Indian background. So I really love those recipes and those parts to the book.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, it is whole foods, but a mix of. I do use spices a bit. I believe some recipes can be bland, and I love using, there's not lots of spices. The main spices I use are like cumin and coriander, so I try to keep it gentle and not sort of overwhelming the spices. So there's a dal recipe in there, and a mung bean curry, and like you said, the raita is also, how to make ghee if you're interested in making it. It's not hard at all. Exactly. There's a few little things in there.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it was actually the dal. I'm going to make it and put up the recipe for Stone Soup readers.
Cool. So it's a staple in my house. I make it at least once a week. I grew up on dal almost every day. It would be part of the meal growing up.
Yum. Yeah, I love it, and it's so inexpensive and so good for you and so delicious.
Yeah.
So
it's very nourishing.
Very nourishing. It's a very appropriate representation recipe from the book. Great. Well, it's been so great to chat to you, Lesh. Really appreciate you taking the time to come and have a chat for Stone Soup readers. And if people want to find out more about you, probably the best place is to head over to your blog, which is the mindfulfoodie.com.
Correct, yep.
Okay, great. And good luck with the launch, Lesh.
Thank you so much, Jules. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.